this is some of the most prime real estate, I would say maybe even in the world. My hand, take this off. Emanating, everything just wants to come right off. You know, look at this. I mean, this was just a mistake. And look, this, can you believe this? And look at this. Look at that, just coming right out. We don't have much bond. What it is they used hardy backer. It kind of flakes off. It has fibers in it. You can see it's just falling apart. I mean, it just gets real brittle in the weather. This is a beautiful, beautiful lake house. Steve, why don't you pan out and see the view that we have working here. Such a really expensive piece of property. They got their own boat dock and pier, and just really, really nice. So for having, you know, the location, they really should have a better tile job. You know, this place doesn't deserve having tiles just fall off. But this side over here was actually set on, looks like set on a mortar bed. This cap metal is supposed to be flipped the other way around. It's supposed to be this way facing out. Then you fill this in with mortar so the tiles can stick. But they had it backwards, so the tile was sticking right to metal, and so the tiles just popped right off. They didn't have any bond. So that's another mistake they made. It looks like the plywood's in good shape, but we'll get into it and find out a little more. So we're gonna end up taking all the top off. We're gonna reconfigure the refrigerator area. They want the fridge out, it's not working, so we're gonna build a little workspace there. Barbecue's gotta come out. New quartzite tile on here, and redo some of the rock work. So again, what an awesome place to be working. I mean, we're so blessed here in California to have, you know, we can be in the mountains one day, we can be on the ocean the next day. Just really, it's awesome. So stay tuned, guys. All right.
Get your hand. Are we free? Almost. Right there.
Right here.
No wire? Maybe they did put wire in there.
Oh yeah, a little bit of lath in there.
Yeah.
Okay, here's more example of the hardy backer and how easy. Actually, I can just use my hand to take this off. So, not great coverage either. Exterior work, you're supposed to have 100% coverage, or 95, or whatever it is, really close, and much coverage. And again, because the fibers on the hardy backer are delaminating, everything just wants to come right off. And plus, they stuck these right to plywood, which isn't good. Yeah, look at that, just coming right off. See how the ridges aren't collapsed? And that one you just touch it. So yeah, this hardy backer outside is no good. A lot of people think that hardy backer is waterproof, or but it'll actually deteriorate in water. So it's good stuff to know. And then over here, another example of our cap strip turned backwards. So again, this cap strip's supposed to be facing out. But watch how easy this piece comes off, because it's just stuck right to the metal. Oh, see, it already fell off once, so they used liquid nails. What does Johnny say?
When the switch is turned off, that's gonna really suck.
Let's work on the grass with this guy.
That stuff is definitely beat up.
Okay, so one thing I want to point out, we got that box out of here, besides a bunch of ants. When you're building stuff outside, you want to make sure that you don't ever put mortar right up against wood. What it does is it traps moisture, and now we got this rot damage, and they're probably going to have to replace this whole beam just because the stonemason took his rock all the way up to it. I mean, look at that. That is no bueno. So rule of thumb, if you're ever building anything outside, you got to leave gaps in between the woods, because up here too they get a ton of snow and a ton of rain. This is probably wet more than half of the year, and so you got to be real careful with how close you put your mortar up against wood. So I just wanted to point that out. All right, so what was on here before was a plywood subdeck, and when I was first looking at it, I was actually contemplating using the old plywood, just building our mortar on it. But the more I thought about it, you know, I want to get all the wood out of this structure. You guys over in the EU, in Australia, you guys have different building standards. You guys don't put wood anywhere, even in a house. So I got these cement blocks, so I'm going to do it like the Euros do. But yeah, so this plywood was just resting on here, believe it or not. And so we're going to take that out. We're getting rid of the plywood because you can see it's all, I mean, it's got a bunch of water damage and it's flaking off. So what we're going to do is I have 100% cement board. I have some Durock that we're going to put on the deck. We're actually going to float it with mortar and put the pieces of Durock on. And then I'm actually going to put another mortar bit on that. But the Durock doesn't have any structural support. So we got all of these voids in here. So I'm going to use these cement blocks, and I'm going to build a little platform right here. And we're going to build it, and then we're going to put the rock around it and put tile on top. And in here, you can see this is just a big open area. And so we need to build some block supports, basically pillars. So when we put our Durock on here, it's going to have structure. And then once the Durock's on there, we're going to, like I said, we're going to do chicken wire. And we're going to float our mortar bed so that this is all solid. There's going to be no wood at all. No wood at all. Because like you can see down here, this is what happens when you have wood outside. Look at this. I mean, this was just a mistake from the old stonemason putting their block up against this. And look, this, can you believe this? This whole beam, this is like a 25-foot beam, is gonna have to be replaced. I mean, you're talking thousands of dollars in damage because someone didn't use the right methods. Don't ever put any masonry up against wood like that, because this is what can happen. You know, and then these little guys are actually stucco corners. And so what we did is, instead of using redwood float strips, we are going to use these to screed off. We're going to use a combination of fat mud and deck mud in order to get our deck all flat and level, and then it's going to be ready for tiles. watching my videos. Make sure to watch the next video coming up. If you know anybody who's looking to change careers, get into the trades, share this video with them. I'm here to encourage them that there's a great life to be made in the building trades here in America. So I love making these videos. I love being your tile coach, and we'll see you on the next video.